I have lived here for 50 years. As I've been living and representing buyers and sellers in Marin County for a long time, let me tell you not only about the positive, but some of the quite interesting things about the cons and living in Mill Valley. Before considering a move, it's helpful to know as much as you can about the area ahead of time. Not just the good, but also the bad and the ugly. So let's dive into all of it. Hi, I'm Jeff Sturley. I'm a longtime Marin resident, and I know the best features of the city of Mill Valley, but I can also share the things that you should be aware of before you fall in love with this sought-after area. I'll share 8 primary pros and cons. By the way, number 8 might be the most important, so be sure to watch till the end. If you like this information, I would be very appreciative if you'd subscribe or comment below. Let's get started. First with a con. Con number 1, the weather. As we are just across from the Golden Gate Bridge, let's be candid, you'll pick up a bit of the surprising San Francisco summer weather that Mark Twain so famously described. Mill Valley tends to have seasonal fog, particularly on summer mornings, because it's bordered by the waters of the San Francisco Bay on one side. You may have a Marin layer when inland temperatures are soaring. As Mill Valley is guarded by hills and Mount Tamalpais to the west, you'll find some fog rolling from the Pacific Ocean and coming down over the hills. And if you like warmer weather, you might want to consider Central or North Marin. Pro numero uno. There's nothing like sitting on your deck in the morning with a strong cup of coffee, listening to the birds sing and watching that fog roll in. You'll never get tired of it. However, cooler weather might be a con to some people. It's a positive to many of my friends and clients who like a blend of a little cooler weather, sunshine, occasional fog and breezes. Fog and breezes can also be seen as nature's air conditioning. Average temperatures for Mill Valley in the summer range 70 to 80 degrees, winter 50 to 60 degrees. Really quite temperate. Con number 2, there aren't any seasons in Mill Valley. Fall and winter may get some rain. We've actually been hoping for some rain in the last few years, but it's been more scarce lately. We're currently living with drought protocol, and we need to manage our water use. If you're looking for real seasons and a white Christmas or Hanukkah, Mill Valley is probably not for you. If you want just a little snow, all of Marin is on the edge of their seats when the infrequent and lovely mild dusting of snow on Mount Tam occurs. By the way, our Grand Dame and local landmark, Mount Tamalpais, got its name, the Sleeping Maiden, because the Miwok Indians saw the profile of a Native American princess sleeping along the ridgetop. Number 2 pro. Conversely, just like the con, we don't have seasons. You don't need to shovel snow this winter if you're living in Mill Valley. In fact, some of the major benefits of mild temperature and weather is that you're a lover of the outdoors. If you're a lover of the outdoors, this can be a year-round paradise. Within Mill Valley, we have the previously mentioned Mount Tam that is virtually all open space with hundreds of miles of trails. You can hike it, jog, do a leisurely walk or bike. Word has it that Mount Tam is the home of the extremely popular sport of mountain biking. In the early 1970s, a bunch of hippies rebuilt their sturdy 1930s beach cruiser bicycles to ride the mountain. I love mountain biking. I can go from the bottom of Mount Tam to the top, 2,600 feet in altitude, in about 2 hours. Many can do it faster. Near the top of Tam is the 100-year-old West Point Inn. During spring and summer, they periodically have Sunday morning pancake breakfasts. It is well worth the time and exercise invested to reach the top and celebrate with some hotcakes, maple syrup, and coffee while looking at the jaw-dropping views of the soaring hawks over the Pacific Ocean, San Francisco Bay, thousands of acres of hills and trees, and the city of San Francisco itself. It's a fabulous way to reward yourself after an energetic ascent to the top. Don't forget waterfront activities. Swimming and surfing on the coast, kayaking, powerboating, or sailing, either inside or outside the Golden Gate Bridge. Swimming is not allowed in the several small lakes on Mount Tam, but feel free to pack up your fishing pole and your grandchildren. Enjoy all of these outdoor activities in Mill Valley, as year-round lack of seasons really encourages that. Con number 3, increasingly worse crosstown traffic. The majority of Mill Valley is west of Highway 101, a major north-south artery. Because many people use 101 to commute to San Francisco or elsewhere, connecting streets can get backed up. Beginning and end of commute and school hours, it's at its worst. If you become a local, you'll learn to navigate the shortcuts and get where you need to go. Another minor con, with more traffic and people, parking can get more crowded in some of the small shopping areas and downtown at certain times. That's not the worst news for most Marinites, as they tend to be health conscious and walking a block or two to their favorite boutique, gallery, restaurant, or place of entertainment is recognized as being good for the heart. Pro number 3. I've lived here for 50 years, and the number of interesting and beautiful locations within driving distance still boggles my mind. So many options. You can not only bike up Mount Tam, but you can also drive up and around. You can picnic or hike on the ridge. You'll find waterfalls, historic landmarks, flora and fauna on steroids, including wild turkeys, raccoons, foxes, and all types of inland and seabird life. On the outside of the Golden Gate Bridge, Mill Valley is just minutes from the Pacific Coast, beautiful beaches, and a plethora of hip places selling seafood and fresh oysters. Con 4. Mill Valley as a whole has discouraged restaurant chains, fast food, major shopping centers, and big box stores. Through the years, there have been many companies that have hoped to land their business within the boundaries of Mill Valley, and the residents and the city council have pushed back. Bottom line, if you insist on that type of shopping or a quick, easy access to McDonald's is part of your lifestyle, our little city may not be for you. Plus, number 4, conversely, the lack of major shopping centers and big box stores is a plus. They're just not as charming as the little vintage stores, shops, and restaurants that you'll find lining the streets of downtown Mill Valley. There's a wide variety of architecture in the downtown and other neighboring shops, along with a variety of hip, cool, and great restaurants. In San Francisco, just a quick 20 minutes south, which provides endless fabulous restaurant choices. So living in Mill Valley could really prove a challenge for foodies. Where do we eat tonight? Here's a few local restaurants, but there are many more good ones. The Buckeye is a hip roadhouse with crafted cocktails, delicious food, and in fact, the best oysters bingo in town. Equator Coffee is downtown and is many coffee lovers' favorite, but there are a number of great coffee shops, bars, and pubs. And the Bay Area is a home for a number of musicians. The downtown Sweetwater has been around since 1972. 142 Throckmorton Theater is in a 100-year-old building. It was renovated in 2003 and is now a mixed genre venue for all types of entertainment. Bungalow 44 restaurant is right in the heart of downtown. It's a welcoming venue with excellent food and drinks. But here is the restaurant Playa, which is Spanish for beach. And they have delectable Mexican food and especial margaritas. Here's one example of one of the many shops in downtown. Summer House has been in different locations in downtown Mill Valley for over 30 years. The Mill Valley Inn is typical of a local charming hotel. Here's some quick fun history. Mill Valley started as a lumber mill town and was named by John Thomas Reed, an Irishman who was one of the region's first European settlers. And he built a sawmill in 1830s in what is now known as Old Mill Park. The Depot Cafe and Bookstore on the square in downtown is really a refurbished train station depot that originally opened in 1889 to help turn the area into a summer resort. Early 20th century visitors would travel up Mount Tamalpais for a hiking excursion on what was described as the crookedest railroad in the world. 281 curves in what is 8 miles of track, returning downhill in cars propelled by gravity. Okay, back to the not so good news. Con number 5. It ain't what it used to be. Of course, you now have a little hint of some of the history of the old lumber town. There was a famous or infamous 1978 TV documentary called We Want It All Now. And certainly the cons of hedonistic, perhaps self-absorbed, pot smoking, yada, yada, yada. And the TV special started with a woman being massaged with peacock feathers by 2 nude male masseuses. We were indignant when we first saw this documentary in 1978. By the way, it's still on YouTube if you want to check it out. Even if this was a slightly exaggerated message, of course there may have been some truth to it. Some things never change and some things do. I think I'll just have to leave that point hanging. With the cooler evening weather, a dip in a hot tub or a spa with a glass of wine or hot chocolate is pretty hard to beat. If you don't drink wine now, you likely will within 6 months of moving in. We are about 1 hour from the Napa and Sonoma wine country. Peacock feathers are optional. Pro number 5, because Mill Valley has not allowed much development, there really aren't any major imposing large buildings. Take a look at this aerial footage scanning the downtown Mill Valley portion. You can see the downtown hasn't really grown much bigger and expanded like many other cities. The current population is just a little over 14,000 and virtually the same as it was 10 years ago. The valley is surrounded by redwoods and approximately 195,000 acres of green open space right in our backyard. This setting is the polar opposite of mile after mile of tract housing and strip malls you might see in some other cities. Con number 6, perhaps Mill Valley could be accused of lack of diversity. There may be some diversity financially and also between the old guard and the new guard. Despite the easygoing environment, some longtime residents say that the influx of new money has made Mill Valley less friendly. There are complaints from the drivers of the old Volvos or even a few of the VW vans left. They still run. Why would you replace a perfectly functioning car? Of arrogant drivers in fancy vehicles clogging up the roads. The politics do lean to the left, which for some conservatives may be off-putting. The good news is everyone agrees that the schools are great. Some say that Mill Valley tend to think that their children are gifted, maybe even some of those VW van drivers. Just like the sign-off on Prairie Home Companion, Mill Valley is a place where men are strong, women are beautiful, and the children are above average. Plus number 6, the public schools have an excellent reputation and great state test scores. There are 5 elementary schools, Mill Valley Middle School and Tam High. Tamalpais High was named a California Distinguished School. There's also a number of very well-respected private schools if that appeals to you. Con number 7, regarding housing, there are not a lot of options other than single-family homes. For someone looking to downsize, the condo market is rather small, and what we have are often townhouse units that are built with stairs that may not be appealing to older residents. There are not many rental complexes if you're looking to rent an apartment in Mill Valley. The lack of larger rental complexes may be visually appealing, but the fact that younger people and service providers don't have affordable local housing increases traffic issues. Number 7, the pro for housing is the stylish variety, mid-century modern, regular modern, the modern farmhouse. Earthy redwood homes from the 60s and 70s are all popular, plus a really great variety of vintage architectural styles from the 40s and older, Art Deco, bungalow, craftsman, and Victorian. Also, lot and location provide a unique variety. You could choose to live in the flats in a trick-or-treat neighborhood, perhaps walking to the charming downtown, or near or even backing up to the abundant open space, or be close to the towering redwoods. Most of the trees that cover the hills and mountains are evergreens of some sort, or you could choose a home on a hillside lot with natural, no-maintenance landscaping and have spectacular views of the mountain, valleys, and the beaches. You do have options. Drum roll. Wait for it. Con number 8 is the cost of housing. Mill Valley has some of the most expensive real estate, not only in the state of California, but in the country. A 2-bedroom, 2-bath vintage bungalow could cost anywhere from $1.3 to $1.9 million as of now, summer of 2022. There's a variety of neighborhoods and homes that will land in the $2.5 to $5 million price range. There's not much in the way of affordable housing, as there haven't been any developments where affordable housing can be incorporated into a new development. Pro number 8, the final thought about living in Mill Valley and real estate prices and values. Remember Will Rogers' advice? Buy land. They ain't making any more of it. This applies not only to the land in Mill Valley, but also the houses. I dare say you really can't find anything to match the style, setting, and intangibles that you find in Mill Valley anywhere else in the world. Unlike some areas where one town is built right next to another town, there's no room nor the ability to duplicate any of this, and there's just no expansion going on. When you have something that is limited in supply, there tends to always be strong and increasing demand for it. If and when you're buying residential real estate, you're certainly purchasing a house or a home and the lot, but you're also receiving the benefits of location, convenience, natural beauty, and lifestyle. Owning Mill Valley real estate has been an outstanding investment. I hope this video has given you an overview. I'm available by phone, text, or email if you have any questions or if you or a friend are considering a move. Above my shoulder, you can click on the 10 pros and cons of moving to Marin County. Feel free to watch that if you're ready for more right now. If you're not ready right now but would like to stay informed about the changes and the opportunities and the lifestyle, recreation, entertainment, cost of living, and occasionally find out some of the secrets of Mill Valley and Marin, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and feel free to tell a friend. This is Jeff Sturley signing off for now and leaving no stone unturned for your real estate and lifestyle needs in Marin County.